Hello and welcome to class. My name's Savannah and I'm going to be guiding you through the next 45 minutes of beginner yoga. Now this is the perfect class if you are new to yoga or if you've just started. We're not going to be doing anything too crazy today, but that said, if you are a seasoned yogi, this is also the perfect class if you just want to take an active rest day and something that's a little bit slower pace. So I'll guide you through the next 45 minutes and I really encourage you, whether it's my class or somebody else's, to always listen to your body, meaning that if something feels good and you want to move in a way that's different to the way I'm instructing, take it. If it's organic and it just feels good, always feel free to move freely and explore movement in your body. On the other hand, if something doesn't feel good, then just button off, pull back, maybe even pause for a second, and then get in when you're comfortable again. So just listening to our body, always honoring what it needs over what kind of the mind wants that day, and not overdoing it, but at the same time, just really exploring and having fun. So with that said, we're going to start in child's pose. So come on down to your mat. Let's come through all fours. So the big toes are touching. Now the knees can either be spread wide or stay directly under your chest. And then we want to just walk the hands forward so that the forehead comes to a resting pose on the mat. Now keep in mind that every body is different, and so maybe your head is actually resting on your knees. Maybe your arms can reach a bit further, or maybe you really need to spread your knees to allow the upper body to rest. Just really check in here with what suits your anatomy best, where you can feel relaxed, and where you can begin to just settle into your mat. Let's breathe in and out through the nose. And right at the beginning of our practice, just connecting with the breath. Feeling it in its natural state. Feel your belly fill and empty as you breathe in and out. Notice the weight of your body. Allow it to feel heavy. Allow it to melt. This pose is always available, and any other throughout your practice today. Begin to soften the eyes and soften your jaw. And take a quick scan of your body. Anything that feels like it could be a little sticky, Or be holding some extra tension today. And then bring your awareness to the whole body. How is it feeling? What is it saying? And gently begin to lift the forehead and walk the hands in towards you. Let's draw the knees together and then come through onto all fours. Knees stacked under the hips, hands stacked under the shoulders. Let's move through some cat-cows. On an inhale, you're going to drop the belly, arch the back, and lift the gaze. And then on an exhale, begin to round the spine, tilt the pelvis, and press the ground away from you. Bring the chin to your chest. Good, let's take 4 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Really pushing through the fingertips and the palms. Feeling all 4 points of contact here. And 1 more round of each. Inhale for cow. And exhale, round the spine for cat. Good. Let's come back to our neutral spine here. Grounding through the left hand. We'll sit up for thread the needle. On an inhale, lift the right hand, open the body up to the right. And then exhale. Let's send that right arm down and under the left arm, bringing the side of our head to the mat. And allowing our weight to open up that right shoulder blade. You're welcome to stay here, or you can walk that left hand and those left fingertips to the top of the mat. Just feeling an additional pull through the side body. And breathing into that upper back. And then taking the left hand back under the shoulder, let's reverse that. Inhale to sweep the right arm back up. And exhale, plant the right hand down. Let's move to the other side. On an inhale, lift the left arm, open the body up to the left. And then exhale, let's thread the needle to the other side. Taking those right fingertips to the top of the mat, pressing through the tips of the fingers. Just allowing the weight of our body to create space through that left shoulder blade. And bring the right hand back under the shoulder. Let's reverse that. Lifting up with the left. And then exhale, coming back through our flat spine. Let's walk the hands out in front of us, keeping the tailbone nice and high. We're going to come into puppy pose. Begin to lower the upper body down towards the mat. And again, bringing the forehead to rest on the ground if this is appropriate. And keeping that tailbone nice and high. Beautiful for opening up the shoulders and the chest. And gently just finding small movement here, side to side. It's very minute. But just gently rocking that forehead from side to side as your body shifts into the right side and then the left side. Notice how each side feels. And let's walk the hands back into the body. Coming through all fours, I'm going to set up for downward facing dog, pressing through the thumb and the pinky of each finger and each fingertip in between. Let's tuck the toes, lift the knees, and then send the tailbone high. Now, no worries if the heels don't touch the ground to start. What we want to find here is a length through the upper body. Now the head hangs heavy. The inside of the elbows are smiling at one another. And you can bend the knees as much as you need here. We'll straighten them out in a moment, but just notice where you land. And then begin to bend the left leg as you straighten the right. And then alternate. And just find some movement here. Alternating legs as you bend and straighten. Gently finding space in the back of the legs. Whatever day you're joining me, or whatever time of day, will determine how your body's feeling. If it's early, then you might feel a bit tighter. If it's later in the day, you might find this a little more spacious to begin with. And you can build from there. And then gaze to the top of the mat and walk the feet forward, coming into a forward fold. The upper body is heavy. Again, bend the knees as much as you need. And then grabbing onto opposite elbows for ragdoll. And gently sway from side to side. And shake the head yes. Shake the head no. This helps to dump any extra tension that we're holding in the neck. Just breathing into the backside of the legs. Gently release the elbows. And taking the hands behind the back, let's interlace the fingers, making one big fist. Begin to pull the fists back and down. Gravity really being a friend to us here. And release the hands. Go ahead and bend the knees a lot. And then on an inhale, come all the way up to standing as you sweep the arms up above the head, palms touch. And exhale, draw the hands through center and down to your sides. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. And then exhale, making that big circle, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, find a flat back. And exhale to fold. Bend the knees a lot. Inhale. Sweep the arms up overhead, come to standing. And exhale, draw the hands through heart center. Let's take 2 more just like that. Inhale. And then exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees. And inhale, come all the way back up to standing. One more with your breath. Bend the knees. And inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, release them by your side. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale to forward fold. And staying here, let's play around with straightening the legs just a little bit more. Then go ahead and bend the right knee, press through the right fingertips, and reach the left hand up, finding an openness through the side. Gaze down at your mat, plant the left hand. Let's bend that left knee, and then inhale, reach up with the right. Gaze back down at your mat. Once more on the right hand side. Inhale to lift the left and really plant through that right hand, maybe coming onto the palm, and then step the right foot back, keeping the hands where they are, finding revolved side angle. Breathe here. Feel the strength of that back leg. And then using your core, lift the right hand off of the mat, bring it to the outside edge of that left knee, and then press the palms together for a revolved side twist. Really pressing through that left knee, that right tricep. Gaze down at your mat. Plant the fingertips and lower the right knee. Untuck the back toes. And inhale, sweep the arms up for low lunge. Pressing through that left knee. Feeling space through the right hip flexor. Beautiful stretch for the hips. Breathing here as you begin to bend deeper into the left knee. Plant the hands so you frame that left foot, and then begin to send the weight back as you straighten the left leg for half splits. Left toe is flexed, left foot is flexed. You can begin to fold over top of that left thigh. Just breathing into the backside of the left leg. You can heel toe that Left foot further forward if that helps, or use your blocks. Good. Bend once more into that left knee. Let's untuck the right toe and then step the right foot forward to the top of the mat for your forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees and inhale, root to rise. Come all the way up. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Inhale to lift. And exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And this time bending into the right knee. Let's root through that left hand, lifting the right arm. Plant the left hand and then step the left foot back. Keeping the arms where they are, really reaching that right arm up towards the sky. Engage the core, engage the legs, and then draw the left arm up top of the right knee. Bring the arms, engage the core to the sky. Feeling our balance here. Gaze down at the mat. Plant the hands and then lower the left knee. Untuck the back toes. Inhale for low lunge. Finding length through the arms, all the way from that hip. And then begin to press into the right knee, creating more space through that left hip flexor. And begin to shift the weight back, perhaps moving the right foot forward a little more and straightening that right leg, flexing the right foot, finding half splits on the other side. Be mindful that each side of the body is different. We all typically have a dominant side, so they will feel different just because of our bias towards using them more often. And perhaps your right hamstring has a little more space than the left, or maybe it's the other way around. We're always honoring what our body needs, what it's saying. Bending into the right knee. Let's go ahead and untuck the back toes. Lift that left leg, and this time step the right foot back for a high plank. Engaging our core here. And then exhale, press back for downward facing dog. Good. Inhale. Let's move the body forward over top of the wrists. Lower the knees down. Untuck the toes and press back just for a moment in child's pose. And just notice any differences in the body. since we began our practice. Any differences, perhaps in the mind? If you are a beginner, just know that the mind likes to tell lots of stories. And it is impossible to quiet the mind, just like it's impossible to stop our heart from beating. The thoughts will always come. Our intention is just to let them go like clouds, rather than holding on to them and buying into whatever they tell us, moving our attention away from the breath and from the practice. Let's lift through all fours. Go ahead and tuck the toes. Press back for downward facing dog. And then gazing to the hands, let's step the feet to the outsides of the wrists. And then begin to lower the body down for our yogi squat. Now, no worries if the heels, again, don't want to touch the ground. That's totally fine. You can stay on the balls of the feet or begin to lower down onto the ball and heel. Let's just bring the hands to the insides of the knees. The triceps are pressing the knees open. Upper body is upright. We don't want to be slouching over our yogi squat. Okay, it is better to stay on the ball of the foot and keep that upper body upright than to slouch. Good. And then taking the hands gently behind us, lowering down onto our sit bones. Let's extend the legs long for a wide-legged straddle. Finding a nice tall spine. Flexing both feet. Let's begin to fold over top of our wide-legged straddle. Coming to rest either on the hands or the forearms. And then go ahead and release the feet. So the toes and the knees will collapse inward. Inhaling to create space. And exhaling to soften into it. Our breath is our most important tool in the yogi toolkit. It's what differentiates yoga from a stretching class. And then press your way back. Coming back to an upright position, let's draw the knees in. Back to our yogi squat position. And taking the hands behind us, let's press back into our yogi squat. And then go ahead and lift the tailbone, straighten the legs, finding a forward fold. Good. Inhale to halfway lift, find a flat back. Exhale to fold. And then step all the way back to the mat. Engage the core for just a moment. And then press back for down dog. Shift the body weight forward. Going back through our plank, let's step those feet to the outside edges of the wrists. Finding our yogi squat once again, this time just for a couple breaths, not holding it for too much longer. Really pressing those knees open, and take one more breath. Let's go ahead and take those hands behind you once more, lower all the way down and extend the legs long. Finding our wide-legged straddle again. Let's take that nice tall posture. And this time we're going to slide over to the left. So we're going to hook onto that left foot, reaching over with the left hand, and then drawing the right arm up and overhead. Now you might just stay here, or you might be able to reach down to that left foot, feeling a nice stretch through the lower back. Wherever that right hand is, as long as you're feeling it through the right side body, then you're doing it great. We call this a practice for exactly that reason. It is a practice. There is no end game. It is a journey that never really ends. But the more often we practice, the better we feel. And gently release the left foot, coming back upright. Let's make our way over to the right, hooking onto the right foot and reaching the left arm up and overhead. Again, taking our time, not forcing anything. Making our way back to center. Let's draw the knees in close, planting the feet. Take the hands behind you and just windscreen wiper out the knees. Good. Let's go ahead and cross the knees, rolling the body forward and over onto all fours. Finding our neutral spine here. We're going to come into pigeon, a beautiful hip stretch. Extending the left leg long. We're going to draw the right shin or the right knee up towards the right wrist so that the shin is parallel with the mat. Now if it's not, that's totally cool too. All right, we just want that right knee to be forward. You'll feel it when you get there. And that right foot can be close to the groin or it can be at the outside edge of the mat. Let's just come up to an upright position. We want to be putting a lot of the weight here into our hips rather than our hands. So let's play around with just lifting the hands, feeling balanced, feeling stable. And then go ahead and walk the hands towards the top of the mat. Coming to fold over top of the right leg. Let's breathe here. We'll be here for a few moments. Really bring your attention back to the breath. Just breathing into any parts that feel like they're resisting the stretch. Your mind will often tell you to fidget, to move around. And that's all good, but sometimes it's nice just to settle in and kind of rise to that resistance. Allow it to melt away with time rather than trying to rush through everything. Let's gently press our way back to an upright position. Go ahead and untuck the right knee, coming back onto all fours. You may like to just find some movement through that right hip. And sitting up for the other side, we're going to extend the right leg long as that left knee comes up to the left wrist. And again, squaring that shin with the mat. Pressing ourselves upright, finding that balance, that foundation. And when you're ready, you can begin to walk the hands forward, coming to fold over top of the left leg. Stacking the hands and resting the forehead there, or just melting into the mat. A pillow or a cushion is also very helpful here, just to rest that forehead on if this isn't comfortable. Notice the sensations as they come up. Listen to them. What is the body saying in this pose right now? And how can we make it easier? Extending the exhales is one way. And another way is to just hold. Give it time. Give it a few breaths. And gently push your way back to an upright position. Let's untuck that left knee. Finding some movement, maybe on the left side. And then let's cross the legs at the top of the mat or swing the legs around behind you. Planting the feet at the top. Let's make our way onto our backs. And extend the legs just for a moment. And then walking the feet in close to the sit bones. On an inhale, let's find bridge, lifting the pelvis, engaging the quads, the glutes, the lower back, pressing through the palms. Chin is tucked to the chest. Good. Squeeze and hold. And gently release the hips back down to the ground. One more time. Let's inhale to lift. And then walking the shoulder blades underneath you. Interlace the hands. And feel the chest open up. Keep drawing the knees together. Feeling strong through that backside. And gently release the hands. Release the hips. Extend the left leg long and draw the right knee into your chest. Coming into a twist, let's draw that right knee over to the left, extend the right arm out beside you, and then gaze over the right shoulder. We want both shoulder blades to be touching the ground here, so if that right shoulder blade is lifting up, just back out. You really want to be careful with the spine. And release the right knee back into center. Give it a nice little squeeze. And then let's swap legs, drawing the left knee in. Let's extend the left arm out beside us. And then drawing that knee over to the right. Just breathing into the lower back. Feeling a reset of the sacrum. And release the left knee. Give it a nice little hug. And then draw the right knee into your chest as well. Coming into happy baby, let's bend the knees and then reaching around for either the big toe or the outside edge of the feet. Draw the knees down to the ground as the hips open up. Can rock and roll from side to side if you like. Or just staying still. Let's release the feet, hug the knees in nice and close. Come up to touch the knees with the forehead. And then release the head, release the lower body. Coming into Shavasana. Find any additional movement that feels good to you here. Before you allow your legs to extend long, the hands by your side, palms up. Taking a mental note of how we feel compared to that scan we did at the beginning of class. We'll stay here in Shavasana for a few more minutes.